Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's Flash Briefing. I'm Bro Workman, CEO of Workman Success Systems, and I am excited that we have some great guests here. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Kat and Quenton, and they told me that they altered the track of the hurricane just so they could be here today. Lord Quenton and Lady Kat Rockwell, welcome, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you. I had to call in a couple of favors, but we got it done.
We did.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So real quick for everybody who's listening, everyone's paying attention. We have a lot of friends in Houston and Louisiana. Tell me what's happening out there just from a weather standpoint. You're there. You're in the middle of it. Is it raining even?
Well, it's a little cloudy, but in Houston, as of now, we're only supposed to hit maybe have a tropical storm type of situation, heavy rain, maybe some wind, probably some power outages here and there. But according to the latest report, probably not major.
Yeah, this past week has pretty much been like watching chips fall down the Plinko board and trying to figure out where it's going to land. And so glad our county officials did a great job of evacuating coastal counties ahead of time. And we're definitely praying for our counties to the east and those folks along the Texas-Louisiana border who are going to probably get hit pretty hard tonight. So we're definitely thinking about them.
Well, our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody, and we hope everybody's safe and they got out. You know, property you can replace, but human life and the lives of their pets and the animals, and I worry about everything that's out there. It makes me sad when I see any living thing suffer because of the hurricanes that are out there. So let's hang in there. Well, you're a good-looking couple. Look at you two. You look sharp today. You look like you're ready out there and go kill some virtual business.
I hope.
we really are. We really are. So we're here with CB&A Realtors in Houston, Texas, who has a more casual style to it. So we made Quenton wear pants today
and a jacket.
And a jacket.
I'm so sorry, but I appreciate you dressing up. So tell us just a little bit about who you are. I'd like to just tell us about your family first, how you guys met, where you and where you live, where you're from, the areas that you serve. Let's start with that.
Sure. So Quenton and I are both natives of Southeast Texas. This December, we'll be celebrating our 19th wedding anniversary, and we have two absolutely amazing and amazingly unique girls, Maddie, who's 12, and Evie, who is about to turn 6. So we serve the northwest side of Houston, Harris County, and Montgomery counties. We do a lot from pretty much all the way from the Woodlands area over to Katy, a little bit down in Sugar Land as well. So that's a little bit about our business, mainly residential, but I can let Quenton tell you more about our new commercial branch we just opened as well. That's pretty exciting.
So Quenton, those little girls at home, they're still at cute ages.
Yeah, they're both at very cute ages, and the 12-year-old is starting to get kind of the attitude.
I think the 12-year-old's pushing it right now.
Yeah.
So,
pushing it. That's probably the best way. I mean, it's not bad, not bad at all. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like.
This also may be the 6 months of quarantine talking also.
Yes.
So that also may be a factor.
Yeah. Oh, I know. When my wife was given the option to the kids going back to school or not, she's like, send them. They're going. Put a mask on them. Send them to school. They need to be in school.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that social interaction that happens when they're with their peers and their teachers, and I just have such a high level of respect for anyone who's a teacher right now because of all the stuff they're dealing with, and I just appreciate them so much, even more. I don't know how you feel about that with your kids going back to school.
I want them out. I want them out of the house. I want them to go do something.
Yeah.
I love them.
Definitely appreciate our teachers. We actually just got done with a client event to gather school supplies specifically for teachers and the things that they're going to have to pay for this year, which that list was pretty specific this year as far as sanitizing wipes and hand sanitizer.
Right.
So we both come from both of our moms were teachers at some point in their career. So yeah, we've experienced it from both sides, and absolutely, we're thankful so much for our teachers, especially those getting back in the classroom this year.
So that's kind of cool. You know, my dad was a teacher, so we have that in common. He was a high school history teacher.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I only met one of his students, and he said I hated that guy. I was writing a check at a sporting good place, and then the check said Verl Workman. He says, Verl Workman? I had a teacher named Verl Workman. Hated that guy. Well, that's my dad. He goes, I mean, he was just hard. He brought his Marine Corps discipline to the classroom,
Uh-huh.
and I think he probably was a hard teacher. He was a tough dad, but I sure gained a lot of respect.
That's funny. My sophomore year, I had a coach who was a Marine, and he definitely brought the whole Marine Corps thing to the classroom, and people hated him. I liked him. I thought he was funny, but that's weird.
Well, that's fun. So how's the business been through all of this COVID stuff for you? How's your summer?
Well, it's been pretty busy. Well, I'm very busy because like on the northwest side and the particular school districts, we broke it down by school districts. And I mean, we're looking at like a 1.5 month inventory in one school district, another one a little over a 1 month, and then another one like almost a 1.5. And we're usually at like, well, this particular area is like a little over 3 months. So I mean, just trying to find houses to list and trying to find houses. I mean, that's the hard part.
Right.
So and every buyer that you deal with in pretty much every deal we've had to deal with, it's always been multiple offers. I mean, it's yeah, no joke. It didn't slow down at all. If anything, it just kind of got more difficult.
Yeah. Well, and it gave us the opportunity to look at the services we were offering to make sure our clients were protected. And so that helped us roll out some things to better serve our clients as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you guys think, but I think that what's happened in the last 5 or 6 months is it's forced us as real estate agents to be better, to really hone our skills and be better at the business. And I think that serves the consumer so much better. When the agents are better at the business, then you stop hearing things like, oh, they get paid too much, or I never pay that much for a realtor, because we're earning the money that we make. You're dealing with multiple offers and how to position things correctly, and the communication thing and how to protect them, so that if somebody else has a COVID issue or something else that happens as a result, there's really interesting things going on. We're getting ready to launch a 120-day listing challenge starting the 1st of September. And it's all about the impact that a single listing has on a community. And the focus is to serve the community. It's to increase our gross domestic product. Our communities are going to be really hurt, and we're not feeling the ramifications of it yet. And so I believe that we can make a big difference by helping people understand how to move forward safely in this marketplace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So Quenton, tell me a little bit about what TreePack is. What is TreePack and how did you get on the board?
Well, I paid some people. TreePack is a Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee, and it's basically a bipartisan, I would say even nonpartisan, because it's not just a Republican and Democrat political action committee. So it's basically a fundraiser. We try to get and use our influence with politicians to help things better the community and better for the realtor community. And that's just kind of what we did. Matter of fact, I just got out of a 4-hour meeting with them. We just support candidates. And I mean, it's historically, I think the overall historic number has been 51% Republican, 49% Democrat. And we just try to help them run their campaign.
So you look for people that will make a difference, and then you get behind them.
Exactly. We want to support them, especially if they're going to do something that'll help benefit the community. That's the big thing.
That's really cool. So Kat, I think I met you at a Texas leadership program. Is that where we first met?
That is one of the places. Absolutely. I'm when I was in the Texas Realtors leadership program. So, which Quenton's a graduate of the 2018 class. I'm a graduate of the 2019 class as well.
And so tell me a little bit about that program and what that's done for you and your business. When you give back, so, when you're in Texas leadership program and you're in the TreePack, you're involved with these things. I don't imagine these are paid. You get paid to be a participant in these. So why do you do it? Why do you participate?
Yeah, no, in fact, you actually pay to participate in it. So this program specifically, especially as you're talking about Quenton's TreePack, now that he's a TreePack trustee, we wouldn't be there if it weren't for the TRLP class. And this basically covers all aspects of leadership, everything from financial planning to communicating with others to understanding the political structure of our state and our local government, which has, quite frankly, way more of an impact directly on citizens than the U.S. government does. So it's getting involved and getting connected with folks at that level as well. It's a really well-rounded program if somebody's truly wanting to take leadership roles in their community. It's a program that helps you get to that next step.
I mean, they even give you like speaker training and publicity, just kind of the whole gamut.
Yeah.
As well as they put you on you have a service project you have to complete during your time there.
Right.
And you don't graduate until it's done.
Yeah, it's been fun to see all the projects over the years as I've been involved in that program. It's one of the highlights of my year to go out and get them to spend time with the group and help them with their business plans and think strategically and how to create leverage in their life so they can give back.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. I know last year we created a scholarship to give back to kids and graduates of high school and college as well, to help them further their education. I mean, which again has a direct impact on the housing market when they're better prepared for the job market and then able to afford the home that they want. It was really incredibly grateful to be a part of that. I believe we called it the Be Someone Fund.
Yeah, but the 2018 class, which is far superior, we worked with Recovery Houston. So we were helping people try to rebuild their lives after Harvey hit. So
as long as we're helping others, it doesn't matter who's better.
Well,
all right, so you're displaying a dynamic that I want to talk about today, and that is being married and being in business together and working together. For a lot of people is a challenge. Some people find that it doesn't work. So how do you make it work where you're in business together, you have a successful real estate business, and you're in love with each other, you have a great family? How do you make it all work? What's the secret sauce? I know when I spend too much time around my wife, she asks me if I'm going to leave town soon. She's like, "Aren't you going to?" Because I need my space.
Right. Well, and we've been doing this specifically for the last 6 years. So, and we're definitely not here because we're marriage experts or we know everything about it. We are here because we do know a thing or two because we've experienced and we've made our own mistakes along the way and learned from them. And I'd have to say that one of the things that has helped us the most has been having clearly defined roles in our business. And that's been a direct result of our coaching we've received from Workman. When we came into this, it was almost like we were playing this game of Twister, and I had a hand over here and he had a hand in this, and our business were a mess. I think I wouldn't call it a mess, that's dramatic, but if we had one transaction,
it was more difficult. I would say that it was more difficult, not
efficient, right? If we had one transaction, like he do a part of that transaction and I do another, and it simply wasn't an efficient way to do business. And having clearly defined roles that have evolved over the years has allowed us to run a more efficient business. So what that has looked like, one of us working with buyers, one of us working with listings. Now that's simply shifted to Quenton working the commercial side and me heading up the residential listings. And we've of course brought more people onto our team now to handle very specific roles. So that has been a significant help, I would think. So,
I would say so. I mean, it's one thing to be able to like, hey, I can't go show these people this house. Can you please step in? That's one thing. But when it's like, when we were just kind of piecemealing it and kind of trying to make it work, it was a lot more difficult.
Right. I know you had thought some other things. That was my top one.
I would say probably just assume goodwill of the other person. Assume that this kind of comes from marriage counseling, but I mean, it applies to your work life period, whether you're working with your spouse or somebody else. It's just assume goodwill, assume that they're not trying to be snarky with you, assume they're not trying to be, have some sort of attitude, assume they're not, even if you get a little paranoid, assume they're not trying to take you down. They're actually trying to build you up. So, and that gives allows a lot of grace for a lot of things. So
that's such an important principle. I don't think anybody tries to sabotage the other person. And if you start by assuming goodwill, that's a great piece of not just business advice, but marriage advice. Yeah, a lot of raving fans out here. By the way, Melody from the class at TRLP 2014 says you guys aren't even players. Trish Nash says hello. Emily Noten, Brian Parker says tell you hi. there's a whole bunch of love on here. I love that Ron Howard's listening, and a lot of fun people. Hip Realty says that she's your biggest fan. So a lot of cool people saying hello. I'm going to encourage all of our listeners that as we're talking to Kat and Quenton Rockwell, the Lady and Lord Rockwells, that we have, if you have questions, ask it. Just throw them on the message board. I'll do my best to get to all your questions. If you want to know how they're succeeding in real estate, what they're doing from a training perspective, how they're getting along and making it work in their family while they work together, those are all great questions. And I appreciate the engagement and the interaction happening on the Facebook Live today. All right, so tell me about what does working together-ish mean?
Okay, so
I want to hear all about this new project.
This is an exciting new project that we're working on, and we'll launch mid-September. So we're working on a podcast right now, and podcast/videocast called Working Together-ish. And so this is simply going to cover some of the everyday things that not just spouses working together experience, but just the disagreements and the differences that we experience throughout our relationship. And really the overall goal is to bring these differences to light, to have fun with it. One of the biggest lies we face in our society is when we're faced with so much social media and thinking that no one else ever deals with the problems that I deal with in my marriage or in my relationships, because look at their wonderful family picture I just saw. And that couldn't be further from the truth, right? We're definitely advocates for marriage. And one of those things that we strive to disarm is the belief that you've just got the worst marriage ever because of whatever is going on. And they couldn't be farther from the truth. We all experience the same things.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. I count me in. I'll be a subscriber. I want to hear more about it. Sounds like a fun project. And I do think that, when you say that social media is what everybody wishes their life looked like, is what they post. I've had many discussions with our coaches and master coaches about when you look at someone who's overly posting how wonderful things are, they're the ones that are probably at the highest risk.
Mm-hmm. That's very true, because that one image is like maybe a split second over. You don't know if they just had like a big argument or something that just right before the picture took. And I mean, I've been there where I'm like trying to get the kid to smile, and the kid's frustrating and not smiling or freaking out because they don't want to sit on the Easter Bunny's lap or all this other mess. And you're just like, no, it's And then the people that overly post, I mean, they're the ones that have had, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's just an opportunity for us to be transparent and hopefully share some of the ideas.
Hopefully be encouraging to people.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedians. And I think the thing that makes comedians so funny is because when they touch on things that relate to you and that you've experienced as well, right? And so I think that's the whole goal from this podcast. So Working Together-ish will launch in September.
And hopefully it'll be funny.
The real stuff is way more entertaining than anything you can make up. Like my 15-year-old on day one in school Monday texted his mom and said, "Mom, I don't know if I can handle the COVID. Probably ought to do homeschool." And he was totally serious. She's like, "Nope, staying at school."
Yep.
Like,
get you some more masks.
Right? I'll get you some more masks. You're staying. It's just kind of funny, the things that we deal with as parents, and you just think, like, come on, just be real about it. My little 13-year-old, she's in 8th grade now. So she's the big girls at the middle school. And it's interesting to hear about the social dynamics that are happening already. And you know what the hardest thing is? She told me this yesterday. The hardest thing about her being back in school was that the 4 friends can only sit 3 at a table. So which one has to stand?
Oh, no.
Right? So one of them has to stand 6 feet away, and 3 of them get to sit at the table, because you can only have 3 kids at a table.
Wow.
That's
because of social distancing. So
we did the same thing at dinner. We decide which 3 of us, and usually Quentin's the one standing up.
Oh, right.
I'm good with that. Give me my distance. We're good.
A table for 3.
Yeah.
Your family of 5.
Cool. Peace out.
All right, I love that. So let's talk a little bit about real estate success, and what are the things that you attribute some of your real estate success to? I'd like to hear about accountability, what you do with your teams. Tell me a little bit about how your structure works. What does your business look like, and how are you structured?
I'd like to hit on the accountability part, because I mean, I'll fully admit that I was a slow adopter, I guess, of the trackers. because now over the last probably 9 months, that has been the major, I don't know,
Driver.
major driver,
Yeah.
telltale sign, or just kind of because facts don't lie. And so we need to keep track of stuff. I haven't opened my lead tracker today, but I mean, I've pretty much every day I'm on lead tracker. And I'm the one that's calling them. Hey, you got to call these 2 people. Have you called them yet? Oh, well, no, call them. And then, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the big thing. That lead tracker and then the top 50 tracker. Those are the 2 trackers that I am personally very vigilant on.
Yeah.
But I was a slow adopter of this, and it wasn't that I was. I didn't think. I didn't necessarily think that they didn't matter. I just thought that I didn't have time to input the information to get it going. And then when I finally was just like, I just got to do this, and like 9 months ago, and I think it was actually at Leverage, I just kind of made the decision that I want to work myself out of a job. And in order to work myself out of a job, I got to get on board with the systems and stuff that she's been building. I need to get on board with that so I can let somebody else do it, and I can retire. I can whatever, quit, sell it, whatever. I can have my exit that way. And so it's like I have to do that. And so I was a slow adopter, but I finally, and I'm like, that's my big thing right now as far as like keeping things.
Has
Yeah,
it made a
anyway.
difference? Has it made a difference? I mean,
Yes.
talking about it and hearing about it and then actually doing it is a
It
different.
does. Yes,
Yeah.
it does. And now it's like, yeah, it definitely does, because it allows me to keep track of where everything is, where the people that I need to get in contact with. That's the big one, and just kind of keeps everything organized.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would say, yeah, because I mean, right now I've gotten probably more deals I'm working on at this moment because I've built things up with the lead trackers and things.
Yeah, I think building the habit of what your lead follow-up system is and getting that into place has made a huge difference.
Yeah, having a plan is the big.
Yeah, and using a tracker that's going to keep you on track to make sure you maintain that communication and make sure you follow your plan. And so we, in addition to just Quenton's like enormous buy-in to those systems, we do a few things. We don't go a week without our team looking at our numbers collectively, putting it right in front of our faces and being held accountable for what we did that week. And it's all done in a very loving manner, and we celebrate our wins and we address when we fall short so that we can get better. So we have a weekly team meeting. We have daily huddles. So at least we've created this rhythm for our business. And so since 2 months ago, when we launched the commercial branch of our team, and Quenton really hit the ground running with that, I think that's why it's been so successful, is simply because he already had the systems in place and he took it and ran with it.
Just
and
went,
yeah, and so he's working about 9 deals right now just on the commercial side
10.
alone. And
10.
Sorry, 10.
I need you to not cut him short.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
that one matters.
Sorry, working 10 deals on that. And before implementing some of those systems, that specifically using a lead tracker to maintain that follow up and keep track of everything.
There's no way I could have.
Oh no.
There's no way.
Oh no. He'd probably work. I mean, anybody would probably work in 2 of those deals, maybe, the ones that were ready right then and there. So
Yeah,
it's been super helpful.
Yeah.
All right. So you said a couple things, and I don't mean to go coach on you, but I'm just curious. So Kat, when you're dealing with Quenton, so for those of you who don't know, Kat's a Workman success coach. She does a tremendous job developing and training people. She's also a Workman Way facilitator. She does training for CB&A Realtors and HAR and others. And so you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So for 9 months, Quenton pushed back. How'd you deal with that?
So I'll be honest, at the beginning, not very well. We've had many a days that were just, let's just call them ugly, shall we? Ugly days, because I'm also one of those high C personalities and everything's got to be perfect.
I'm not.
And he is not. And so what I've learned to be is his fan and not his critic. And I think this goes for other people around me as well, and my other professional relationships as well. when you're somebody's fan, you really want them to succeed, and you're willing to be more patient on how you approach them. Because again, the goal of them succeeding outweighs how you prefer to communicate. So I've learned that I have to let him figure things out on his own. Like, I'm not going to say or do anything to make him do what I want him to do. I can ask questions. I can throw out scenarios on why things are beneficial, but I can't push too hard or he's simply going to resist. And that's just the personality type he is. And that's also what makes him so tenacious at his job, is because he's wonderfully stubborn, and we're each wonderfully stubborn. Wonderfully stubborn. So
I have a solution for you. I've been thinking about this as you've been talking. One of the things that we do when we coach a married couple is we say, look, you each get one vote and your coach is the final say, and you both have to agree coming in. I'm going to not do that with you. I'd like to propose something that's a little bit different. What I would like you to do is, when you have conflict, I would like you to solve it by shooting free throws. What do you guys think?
I don't like that at all.
I am all for that, Burl. I think
that's a horrible idea. Maybe thumb wrestle.
You're just going to have to buy into this now. So why are you against it, and why is she so for it?
Well, she's probably better than me. That's why she's for it. So she'll probably get more shots. I'm against it. No.
Can I just interrupt? That is because I am the Liberty Middle School co-ed free throw champion from 1996. And which I believe is the reigning thing, because I don't think they've ever done that contest ever again. So technically, I'm the reigning. I hold the record. I beat out all the guys. I think the vice principal was in the mix too. I beat out everyone, and so I can sink some free throws. And I think he's just.
I don't want to do that.
I think it'd be a good conflict resolution and a little bit of fun to watch as well.
I don't think it'll be fun at all.
Well, that's I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to let your coach know that I've suggested it. The other thing we could do, Quenton, is maybe we could have a rock trivia questions. Just throw out rock trivia and see who answers those the best. And
we can do this. We can do this all day.
Tell me a little bit about your background with rock radio.
I actually, I think it was in 1997-ish. I started working in radio, and then I was in special events or events department, and then I got asked to do a specialty programming thing, which led to just kept building up and building up and building up. Actually, I think they were firing people, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? I'll try." And so, okay, you got the job. And then I just kept doing that, and then I eventually just built it up to where I was nationally syndicated with my own rock show. Did that for about 7-ish years.
And we're a musician as well.
So. Yeah, and I was a musician. I was
going to ask you that. You're a rocker. What do you do? What's your instrument?
Kind of a variety. Guitars-ish. I left radio because I was doing some session work, mostly bass session work with different people. So I left radio and joined this band, and then we got some chart success and did that, and then I had to change my whole setup to where I'm playing guitar and bass with like a whole
chart success. So I mean, they had one of their singles was was number 4 on UK chart.
UK rock charts.
And so I mean, pretty cool stuff in this guy.
Hey, you make it on a UK chart. That's a big deal. I remember being in England as a missionary, and I would send Colleen, who was in high school at the time, cassette recordings of Top of the Pops. Because the music was so far advanced to what we're hearing here in the States. And then she would get it, and then they'd start playing it 6 months later. She'd, I already got that. I know that.
Yeah. So, I was into it before they were cool, I was cool before.
Let's just say there's just not as much money in music that there is.
God, no, there's no money.
We still enjoy getting the 80-cent royalty checks in the mail every now and then.
Yeah.
Do you ever get out there and get your bass guitar out and jam a little bit?
It's been a while. But I've been working a lot. But no, I get the itch where I just want to get out and do something. Like my drummer, I mean, he's still my drummer. I claim him, I own him, but he's probably watching this.
That's really cool.
But he plays for other people and he does stuff for other people, but he's still mine. But no, every once in a while we'll talk music and I'll talk some ideas with him, and we'll chit chat, and I just kind of get the itch where I just need to do something, but I haven't yet done anything.
So I don't know what's going on Facebook, but I know that TRLP is competitive, obviously, because you got Christy Green piping in and others that are like telling you their class rocks. So
They're okay. I mean, they all rock. They're okay. They're just not as good. I
it's
mean,
not on the charts.
they're not. They're definitely not. They're definitely not. I mean, it's just facts are facts, man. Can't help that.
We've had tremendous clients come through the TRLP program, the leadership program, and we're launching some new things with HAR this year that are kind of cool in their teams program that are going to be fun. Kat, tell us a little bit about how you're involved in team training and what you're going to be doing.
Sure. So coming this fall, actually beginning of September, I'll be teaching Slam Live and BAM Live. So for those folks who want to get really, really great at listing homes and serving their clients better, finding listings, that Slam is going to be the class for them. And of course, BAM, the Buyer Agent Mastery Program, is going to be the program to help folks work better with buyers, perhaps get a little bit better at positioning your offers in a competitive market, help prepare your clients for a competitive market as well.
Because it's not just about price. I can tell you that.
Right. So I'll be teaching those classes virtually through HAR. And I think the amazing Tammy Slay is also going to be teaching Ramp Live as part of that team package as well. So we've got some really great things coming to the Houston area. I'm very thankful to be part of such a great association that continues to serve our clients and offer these amazing educational opportunities.
You know what's really interesting is in most boards and associations, this is just me talking to you, but I work with a lot of boards and associations and have spoken for many of them over the years. Houston is unique in that most places want us to approve our education for continuing education classes. And when you do that, they remove your ability to teach agents how to really succeed. They want to protect everybody, right? It's about how to not get sued, how to protect the consumer. But in Buyer Agent Mastery, Listing Agent Mastery, and Ramp, these are programs that flat out teach you how to dominate in the marketplace. And it's interesting because the ones who dominate and do it really well are just better at the business. And it's designed to create better client experiences and a higher level service. So I just applaud HAR for their focus on helping people become exceptional in this business, because the barrier to entry is so low. We have to do something to educate our agents how to be better at it. I think that's why they get into coaching and they go into training programs. I don't know, what are your thoughts there?
Right. Oh, I absolutely do. I think, obviously so many people get into this business and it's just simply not what they expect. It's a lot of hard work to continue going.
It wasn't what I expected when I got into it. It's really not.
We just don't get our license and stick a sign in the ground and that's it. I roll
Show
around
some homes, write some checks, get some checks.
Right. So like we had alluded to before about, this is the time to raise your level of service that you're offering your clients. The status quo will not cut it. So it's amazing, again, just that these classes are being offered to actually have actionable steps to put into your business and also be in an environment where you're being held accountable to do it.
It's so funny. I just go back. I digress because I go back to high school. My son came home the other day after the first day and he has an introduction to real estate class and he's a sophomore. And his introduction, like he has no idea what I do. Like, he's just like, so he's like, so Dad, I don't know if you know this, but you can make like $9,000 if you just sell one house.
Like, really?
Wow.
Like, no, man, tell me more. He's like, I don't really know any better the rest of it, but I mean, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we've always joked because our youngest daughter is about to turn 6. So she was born into us doing this career. And we noticed one of the first Halloweens, we were actually going trick-or-treating door to door. She started walking into people's houses and I'd have to pull her back. And I realized later on, she doesn't understand what we do. She doesn't understand why we just walk into people's houses is because we're working on the times that she would come along with us. And so from a child's perspective, like, oh, she just thinks this is normal. You just go up to somebody's house and you walk right on in. So
I got the code.
I got the code.
Yeah, no, it's just funny that the perspective is so different, that we do work so hard in this business. And my hats off to the agents who do a great job. So I would love some advice from you. So as you've grown your business, what kind of growth have you seen since you started working with Workman? And then what kind of advice would you give people that are trying to figure out what's next in their lives for their business?
Yeah.
I was
going to say, well, so this year alone, we'll end about 150% over last year. And
Middle of COVID.
yeah,
No, yeah.
we I will say that I don't know if we saw the growth that we wanted to see, and the growth, and that's a good thing, and to keep our own, I guess, expectations manageable. It's Coaching is a lot of hard work, and I think just like relationships, and sometimes even the smallest adjustment makes a significant change in your business. And if you're making it more consistent, and continuing to build upon that, I know they tell folks when they come into coaching, coaching is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you've got to stick with it to make it work. And that is one thing I'm really proud of, that we've stuck with it to see the growth that we have.
And I want to interject something, because we've had to make a couple of different changes over the last couple of years. So it's like we've had to we have something, we have a plan, we're working on it, then something happens, we have to shift, we have to do something. So we've had that. And I mean, to me, it's just kind of helped, sometimes just having that soundboard from a coach, and to just kind of have that soundboard just to kind of talk about things
and to rein us in.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have recreated our business 100 times if my coach wouldn't have just said, "Kat, just stop recreating the wheel and make your phone calls." But to start building a business truly based off of 4 pillars that keep your business steady and afloat, and consistently growing over time, coaching has completely changed the trajectory of our business. And I couldn't be more thankful for that, because when you're able, I mean, just a few weeks ago, we went on a vacation for about 4 days and turned off our phones.
It was nice.
And it was so nice. And those are really the big wins right there, that we have dinner as a family. And there's I know we say, "Oh man, I answer my phone 24/7 and I'm working so hard," and that's great. At some point, you're gonna burn out, and we've got to figure out how to leverage our business to where we really make time for the things that are most important to us. And
because there's no emergencies in real estate, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's been, yes, we're seeing increased sales. We're growing out branches of our business that are going to do great things in the future.
But I can call you back.
Yeah, that's the real win right there. Just being able to have the time and feel good about spending the time with our families.
So Quenton, I'm going to ask you for just a piece of advice. Would you suggest people take the same trajectory you did at just getting into it? Wait 8-9 months, then buy in, or I mean, what advice do you give someone that's coming into coaching, whether it's with me or somebody else? Like when you make a commitment financially to hire a coach, regardless of who it is, I mean, how do you shortcut the painful process of success?
I would say just whatever the system is, whatever it is. I mean, it all they're all fairly similar. And it's great to have a system or whatever you want to call. Well, you need to buy in. You need to do it. Like I wasn't against trackers. But my big excuse is I'm too busy to do that. I've got all these deals and I got all this other stuff. But if I just sat down, I think for mine, it took maybe an hour of just sitting down and just going through everything and just setting it up. And now I don't have to even think about it. And that's allowed me to because I have limited brain space and I can't keep track of every little thing on everything. And so I have the ability to now where it's like, okay, well, here's this. I can think of, okay, here's where we are with this. We can do this. And it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a difference. I would say buy in, just do it. I mean, whatever the system, seriously, whatever the system is, and it may seem just kind of, this is dumb. Just do it. I mean, it's little and it's dumb, but it can have major impact on what you're doing.
And I interject of just asking yourself why.
Yeah.
Like, why would somebody who's clearly really great at real estate and building out these systems, why would they be asking me to do this?
Yeah. Why would they ask me to do this dumb thing?
Wax on, wax off, right?
Right.
Why are you having me do this? Oh, because it's going to help you win.
And it does. And it honestly does. Even if it seems asinine or whatever it is, whatever the system, give it a shot. But give it a 100% shot. Don't piecemeal it.
I love the basketball analogy on the 100% shot. I think
Yeah.
that's a great thing. You know, great advice. Just get into it, buy into whatever you're doing, start following it, ask yourself the why questions. So why would someone who has tremendous success ask me to do this mundane task?
Mhm.
And then think of the Karate Kid. That's just phenomenal advice from both of you. I think that Together-ish is going to be a fun podcast, and I'm looking forward to listening to the two of you as you help other people figure out how to work together and how to stay married and stay happy. And I wish you the greatest amount of success. And I just want to say, on behalf of Workman Success Systems, our entire family, everybody here on Facebook Live, thanks for being part of our show today. And we appreciate you so much, and continue to make a difference in the lives of everybody you touch. Thanks for being just who you are.
Well, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Verl.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
All right.